Have you ever missed a big market move because you were in some 9 to 5 meeting? Or you timed the market perfectly, but you were just too slow to react? Now you don't have to, because I built a bot that is completely free and it tells you exactly when to buy, sell, or hold your stock on an intraday scale. It sounds great, right? Well, here's the deal. Alpaca's API has been getting a lot of hype lately, but all the best features, you guessed it, they're behind a curtain. Instead of wasting the money that you could have been making in the market, I found a way to supercharge the free plan to compete with their paid plan, and today I'm going to show you exactly how you can do the same. Now, if you don't use Alpaca or you're just looking for the best APIs for trading bots, you have come to the right place because I'm on the hunt for the best API. Now, so far we have gone through Robinhood, Webull, and Public, so if you're interested in those videos, be sure to click in the links down below because I will leave those in the description. But I know that you came here for the hype of Alpaca, so let's see how they hold up as well. Let's dig in. First up is the setup. Now this is honestly so easy to set up. You have to create an account, but you don't have to type in any personal information such as your social security number, your phone number, your home address. All you have to do is ensure that you can set up multi-factor authentication, and you can use an authenticator app to do that, and all that does is allow you to log in with your authentication. Once you log in, you will be greeted with your home page, and if you decided to go the same route as me and not typing in your personal information, you will have a paper trading account. And the downside to this is that you don't have the ability to trade with your actual money in this account. You can create a live account if you would like, but you will have to put your personal information because the government wants their tax money. But the upside to have a paper trading account is that you have $100,000. Now, this isn't actually your money to work with, but you can play around with it and you can see what you want to do. Now, we're not actually going to be using the paper trading account today. We're actually going to be doing everything based out of the API. So the next thing you will need to do is you need to go to the settings section and you need to go to your profile. Once you're in your profile, you'll go to manage accounts and you will go ahead and generate your API key and your endpoint. Now, I already have this set up, so I'm going to blur those out so nobody's trying to steal my information. But now we're ready to go, so we can go ahead and hop in the code. If you want to follow the same setup that I have, I will leave all this code down below in the description, so do not feel like you have to follow along and type all this out really quickly. But go ahead and just go down there and grab that if you want this. Now, whenever I set up my repos, the first thing that I always do is I create a .env file to store those secrets that I don't want to be accessible by anyone. And after that, I go into my .getignore file and I add my .env so that nobody will be able to see that whenever I push my code out. Then once you go back to your Python script, you'll just have to make sure that you import load.env so that you can load your secrets. And after that, everything is just going to be your Python script. In my script, I start off with the utility to get the current Eastern time. And once I get that Eastern time zone, I will be using that to check for the market hours. So the market hours we know are 9:30 to 4. And because I want to only have this run during market hours, I have it set up this way. If you want it to run in different hours, be sure to change this here because if you don't, you will only be having a working bot during market hours. Now, after that, I created this function to wait for the market to open. So we can see that if I type anything in after 9 o'clock, then my bot will actually wait for the market to open before it will start logging results. Now, this is nice because you might want to go grab something to eat and you want your bot to be up and running so that while you're doing other stuff, hence the reason for the bot, this will actually be doing things for you, and once the market opens, it'll already start tracking information and telling you when to buy, sell, or hold. Now, I only have it starting at 9 a.m. After that, I have it starting to track the last bar of data. This is where the limit of Alpaca's API comes into play. Unfortunately, because the free version only stores the latest bar of data, you have to create a data frame or a file that you want to store all this information within. So I have it storing the data in a CSV file. If I go ahead and open up the CSV file, it looks a little intimidating, but it's okay because the bot is actually reading from this itself. And if we scroll up to the top, we can see that we're grabbing the timestamp, the close value, the volume, RSI, SMA, EMA, the upper and lower Bollinger Bands, and the signal, whether we should hold, buy, sell, or if it's the warm-up period. Here, we will go ahead and wait for 14 minutes before this will start telling me what to do. Now, in the calculation of the RSI, we're actually going to be using the Wilder RSI. There's two different types of RSI that most people use. This is the one that you might see on like TradingView or Robinhood, some of those major platforms, because it's a smoothed RSI and it's not just a static value that will be calculated over the last 14 minutes. It's smoothed together. I'm not going to go through all this code here. If you want to look into it, you can. And then after that, we have the original RSI. So if you want to change this in the main function, it's very easy. Then we have the rest of our functions. So we have our SMA, EMA, our Bollingers, and then our signal for what we're going to be doing. After that, we have our CSV section. So this is what's actually going to be logging the values in that CSV we just looked at. Once you have the values in there, we can go ahead and use our main loop to look and see if we're going to be grabbing information that is useful or not. So we can see here we have this part that says if there is enough history for RSI, it's going to skip the warm-up. This is essentially whenever we restart the application. If for some reason your computer crashes, you accidentally turn it off or something, your bot will shut down unless you have it hosted on a server, which I'm assuming most people will not be using. But if that does happen to you, this bot will just pick right up where it left off, and I would normally let it wait a few minutes to make sure that the RSI is calculated correctly if you were waiting a little bit of time in between. But if it was just a minute or two, you should be okay to get going right away. After that is our main loop. This is what's going to be looking at everything. So if it's 9:30, then the market is open and we will start tracking everything. If it's not 9:30, then we aren't tracking anything. Once we start tracking everything while the market is open, it'll all get written. We'll get the outputs. And then at the end of the market, we will get a print market closed and live update stopped, which will be output in our terminal. Now for our sleep section right here, I have it set for every 60 seconds. It'll trigger again. If you want to change this, you can. I just like 60 seconds because not a whole lot changes between then. And I'm not trying to trade too fast on an intraday scale. I'm good with a minute time frame, but if you get into like 30 seconds or quicker than that, it's a little bit too much for me, but you can go ahead and edit this as much as you want. What is cool about this bot is that it gives you all the signals you need and you can use them to actually trade automatically. So if you integrate this with the Alpaca brokerage, then you can do the trades automatically. I will actually be doing this implementation through the public API. If you're interested in seeing that, be sure to subscribe so that you can get notified when that content comes out. And if you did like this video, I would greatly appreciate if you could like it. If you want to leave a comment down below as well, it does greatly appreciate me and it doesn't cost a single thing. But that is all that we have for today. So thank you so much and I'll see you in the next one.